Okay, hopefully we are live. Yes, we are. Awesome. Cool. So it's been a long time since I've done any streaming or anything. So we're back now, hopefully regularly, and going to be building more stuff on stream. So welcome, as always. Get involved in the chat and say hello. So what I'm working on currently, open up this one because it's a bit more interesting. Essentially, the main thing I'm going to be working on now is tooling for helping me make YouTube videos. So I am going to be actually making kind of longer form videos, I guess, for this channel and maybe some other channels once I kind of get in the flow of things. Got myself a camera, got all the stuff that I need. I just need to start kind of being more disciplined and actually start making content and doing that basically. And one of the ways that I'm going to be doing this is building AI tooling to help me do it. So I've seen a lot of people in the kind of AI space or the content creation space have kind of AI tooling to help either write scripts, plan videos, all that kind of stuff. So my thinking here is to create a tool for myself to help do this, come up with some research topics, etc. for my channel, also look at other people's channels and do some kind of competitive analysis to work out what kind of content is working for them, and then from that come up with ideas and build content basically. So I'm going to be working on that today. It's all local at the moment, but I will deploy it to my Linux box as well. That way it will just run in the background and let me know what's going on. And then assuming it works well, maybe I can turn it into a full SaaS product. I was building a SaaS product that kind of did something similar, but I kind of put that on the back burner because it was not really the right way of doing it in my view. And I was kind of getting more distracted on that rather than making content. So focusing on basically getting to the point where I can make content using this tool, and then we can turn it into a SaaS product and go from there basically. So that's the idea. So this is what I've got currently. It's very simple. It's just a Node server with a React front end. And basically we have these cron tasks that will be prompts to Claude. It's going to be running on my Linux box, so it will just use the Claude subscription I have rather than API keys, as that makes it cheaper. And I've got this prefetch step currently. I've not checked whether this actually works or not, but and this will basically do some programmatic thing. For example, fetch the channel analytics for my channel, and then pass that data in through some templating as well. So that's kind of the idea behind these things, is that I can do programmatic things. So you can fetch data, stuff that doesn't need and should never need AI to do it, just calling APIs, etc. And then passing that data into the prompt to do something. So for example, this will be useful for analyzing someone's channel or working out what's going on with mine, for example. That's kind of the idea behind all of this. Then obviously you have things like script writing, thumbnail creation, all these kind of tasks and tooling that should help me do content creation, basically. So in terms of where I currently am, I think I've got this kind of working. We can probably go ahead and actually test this and just see whether it works locally, and see how it works with Claude locally, and it should just be the same on the box basically, so it shouldn't be too crazy. So let me just go ahead. So I don't really know what happens when you click that now. I haven't actually. Okay, so we've got an error. Claude code OAuth token is not set yet. So I haven't done run Claude setup token to obtain a subscription. Yeah, okay. So I think if we run this locally. I'll just do this off screen because it's probably gonna. I've got another monitor now as well, which means I can do stuff off screen without hiding credentials and stuff all the time, which was a pain last time. Okay, so apparently now I've got the OAuth token. It's probably set it in the environment, so that's fine. Let me just save that, and that probably reloads it for me. Yeah. Drizzle migrations already exists. Okay. Probably need to get that fixed at some point as well, but we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, so in theory now, if I click that, it should do something different. No, okay, let me just restart the server entirely. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that again then because it's showing the bloody token. I don't know why they always show the tokens in like the terminal and stuff. Like, is it needed to show me what the token is? Right, I don't think it is, but for whatever reason, they constantly want to do this. I don't know, do I have a .env here? Okay, let me just, good, I think. Almost leaking credentials as always. Okay, so that is there. Okay, let me hide that one. Good. Boot it up again. Okay, should be okay now. Right. So we've got that running now. Okay. Oh, it's changed the color and stuff. Okay. So if we do run now, what do we get? We get an error. We get nothing actually. Anything in the console? Nothing. So get tasks, run. Okay, so it is actually running yet. What does it do? Okay, cool. So that is actually the Claude running, which is great. Okay, perfect. One thing I need to do is get it to actually have correct paths and stuff rather than just being fully single page, because that always annoys the hell out of me. So we'll get it to do that. For the specific tasks, we should be able to navigate to the task in the URL via the task ID. So rather than just being kind of rendered via JavaScript, we should be able to view the page based on the correct path. Can you please fix that and write tests for it? Okay, cool. So it's kind of working. One thing I need to do then is like get all the prompts and stuff working and running correctly. So the main one is probably the research agent. What I really need as well is like a channel, I guess you'd call it like a channel, I don't know, manifesto or like description of what we're making for the particular channel, what kind of content we're making, what kind of stuff it should research and would find interesting for the channel. So probably need to add that in kind of a settings section, and then we can inject that into the prompt as well. That way we know that it's going to find good content basically, rather than just generic, you know, I don't know what the topic is basically. And it's going to be for the current channel that I'm on. So it's going to be kind of AI related stuff and building with AI and general kind of AI news and that kind of stuff, as well as content creation stuff with AI, I guess. It's not going to be like YouTube strategy and stuff. It's going to be more focused around the AI side of things. So using Claude, using Codex, all the news and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get that going at some point as well. And we probably need to work out the best way to do that. I guess we just have to have, like I say, a couple of sentences or whatever describing what the channel actually is, and then it can pass those into the particular agent task that gets run. So yeah, app routing should be fairly quick to fix. So we'll get that going next. Yeah, and then in terms of the agents or the tasks that we have here, these are all agent calls. You can see by the type. So I'll set up a blog at some point as well. The research agent is kind of the main one. That's going to be the one that, you know, runs a couple of times a day, actually finds content that can make a good video. Obviously, then we'll pick some content, write a script for it, create an AI thumbnail, all that kind of stuff, and then extract either stuff for X post, basically. And we'll build a scheduler in here as well, so that we can auto schedule tweets and all that kind of stuff just on the app, rather than having to use a third-party service. I know there are third-party services out there, but I don't particularly want to use one and pay for it. Okay, so it should have linking now. Good, right, perfect. Okay, one thing we need to do is we need to have like a channel description and like a brief overview of what the channel is, what kind of content we want, and then we want to inject that into all the prompts as well. Perhaps we can just have an option of like inject channel description or like channel manifesto or whatever it's called into the prompt, and it's by default it's auto selected. That way, when we do the like research, for example, the research agent will have context of what the channel actually is. Yeah, and then some other things we want to do with this as well are in the future have some, I guess like not scrapers, but stuff that fetch from sources like Hacker News, other like The Verge and all those kind of sites to get news, and then we can specifically reference those in the research and kind of deciding whether we want to make a video on that content. So yeah, it should be fairly simple to do this one. Yeah, one thing I actually need to track is how it's managing the migrations, because every time I've done it so far, one thing it's done is use time-based migration. Okay, so it's using version numbers, which is perfect. So one thing I noticed is that every time I try to get it to do with Drizzle, which is the one it always picks, is it would use time-based migration versions, and that would just always break stuff. And then it would auto write the version number or the timestamp, and that would just totally break stuff. So it's using version now, which is good. Okay, so we should then get this kind of channel. I don't know why it needs new channel. Okay. I don't understand why it would ever have that, but as a type, why would we need new channel? I don't quite understand. Oh, okay, sorry, it's the schema, right? It's insane. Fine. I was wondering what that was. So that should, okay. The fact that this works as well is nice. Get the response, perfect. Back to tasks. Prefetch, we're going to need to set up the prefetch ones. I don't know whether it's actually got handlers for those already or not. I guess runners, handlers, YouTube analytics. Okay, so it kind of has done, which is good. Whether it actually works or not is an entirely different thing. Oh no, it hasn't actually wired it up at all, but that's fine. We'll get it to do that in a second. And we should definitely move these, like the config of these, to be in a like settings thing rather than when you select, basically, because they're always going to be the same. If I want to have multi-channel stuff on this, I'll just change the way the app works at a higher level rather than having it, explicitly select the thing. We'll just have like a channel switcher or something that will do that based on the settings and stuff, which will be fine. Yes. So yeah, then one thing I need to work out as well is time zones for doing streaming. As I'm currently in Australia at the moment, planning on being here for a year, maybe longer if I can actually get a job or get sponsored or something. But I'm on a year-long visa. So it's currently 2 a.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. at New York, 6 o'clock in San Fran, 10 o'clock in Tokyo. So I think I was generally streaming at like 4 or 5 p.m. Tokyo time, which kind of meant that you caught the morning and late evening for San Fran and stuff. So I probably need to stream later in the evenings, perhaps, but we'll see. See what goes on. Okay. So yeah, then the other thing we need to have, channel name. Okay, so that's fine. This should probably be settings. Oh, it's just settings, but it's called channel. Okay. Define what your channel is. Constantly make content injected into every agent task. Manifesto. I'm not sure that manifesto is the right word, but audience voice tone. Yeah. Yeah, the voice is a separate thing, I think, because we will be passing that stuff into the script writer itself. So it's not necessarily the voice stuff. It's more, this is kind of more description of channel. But that's fine. And yeah, so we'll get this to be settings, and then we'll have like channel ID and all the stuff that it has on this. I mean, that should just be default defined via the task itself, so I'm not too bothered about that. Yeah, so they should just be default defined. Not too worried about this. Okay. Has it done? Yeah, inject channel manifesto. Good. Okay, can we also add the channel ID to the channel section? And then for tasks like fetching YouTube analytics, etc., all of that should come from the channel rather than having to inject it in each time. So the channel ID, for example, should just be fetched from the channel rather than when you run a specific task asking you to pass in that ID. Yeah. And we'll get this called settings as well, actually, rather than how it currently is. I mean, that should be fairly easy for it to do anyway, just to change these things, and then just a prefetch step just gives us the output, and the tag. I mean, we could even do something smart if we wanted to, like if we have, I don't know, YouTube analytics in the prompt, then it automatically does the prefetch step. Maybe that's something we can do in the future. Because actually, we'll do that as well, actually. Because then we can just have code that checks the prompt, and then if the prompt has that, it will do that as a prefetch step, and then just kind of work that way. That way you don't have to select all these things. Do I want to do that? No, we'll leave it as it is at the moment. Just selecting the... no, actually, we will do that, because then we can have multiple prefetch steps in a clean way. And what I need to do actually is create a README. Is there already a README? Yeah. To do. Actually, we'll create a to-do list, because then it's just easier. Not clicking the right thing. Okay, so add ability, pass template tags into prompt for prefetching based on tags. Do that. I think that's the main thing I want to do at the moment. Oh, we also need to rename that settings. We'll also need like a voice prompt. And the idea behind the voice prompt will be like, how can we make it sound less AI, basically? So maybe what we'll do is ingest the transcripts from the live streams and then get it to come up with a voice prompt of like the things that I say, the way that I speak, etc. And then use that to make the actual scripts for the videos. That way it'll sound more like me and less like AI stuff. And then we can kind of fine tune that much more as we go along, basically. Okay, what changed? Add YouTube column ID, yada, yada, yada. Migrate. That's, I mean, yeah, obviously it already exists. It's not wrong. Let me just go off screen for 2 seconds to check some credentials. Okay, let's do a new one. Connection from URL. Yeah. Cron content strategy. Connect. Channel runs tasks. Drizzle migrations. So it wants to create. Okay, let's just delete. I could just kill the container and delete the data, but I'll do it this way because I'm already here and I can't be bothered to Google the Docker commands. Right. Why are we getting it already exists though? Why are we getting the notice that it already exists? Is that just a log and it's not actually something we need to be concerned about? Like, why is it trying to create the drizzle schema each time? Is that just a drizzle thing by default? Okay, we can come back with this. Okay. Oh, I've not run this server, have I? Bum. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've got the channel now, channel ID, tasks, etc. One thing I want to know actually is, do we store the prompt that we run? Prompt runs, finished out. Okay, no. So let me make a note of that as well. Store prompt used in each run. Against the run, be useful for some auditing. Okay, it's default behavior, fine. Don't need to worry about that. Let's just do the easy one. In the left-hand menu, as we're going to have more settings, etc., in there, but then just have the channel as a a subheading within that. That should be fine. Cool. I don't know what the scheduler online is about. I don't know where it gets that from. Scheduler online. I mean, it's not even conditional, so I don't know why it's got that. It's just like a random thing that says scheduler online. Totally pointless. Okay, so one thing we'll do, we'll get that to scheduler online to show what run is currently occurring, rather than just being hard-coded. Entirely pointless, but better than just having a fake scheduler online thing that makes no sense, because it's okay. Okay, cool. Lovely. Let's prefetch now. Okay, cool. Let's move the prefetches as well to set menu item and have config be global. Okay. Okay, let that do its thing. Shouldn't be too long to fix the that. So yeah, the main goal is to get to the point where I can actually use it to make a video, basically, or help me make a video to start off with. And then once I'm at that point, I can start making videos. I can then start fine-tuning it and adding in all the features that I want. So I think that basically like MVP is that we have our channel manifesto, we have all of our prompts for the research, for probably script writing and thumbnail. So that needs like the voice and all that kind of stuff. And then it will do a research and find some interesting topics. I then select one, write a script, come up with a thumbnail. I then film it. And that's kind of the MVP for now. And then what we'll do is we will, we need like specific hook things in scripts as well, but we'll come back to that. And then like we can tag all of it with some kind of like categorical ways of working out how stuff is performing. So for example, the type of hook that we use, and then we'll analyze the data based on like how many people drop off on that video based on the hook type and all that kind of stuff. Just trying to be really kind of analytical with the way that we kind of make the content and improve the content. Obviously, it kind of all relies on that the videos actually get any views. If we only get like 10 views, then it's kind of irrelevant, really. Like we know it's not, well, it's difficult to say when it gets such low views, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Well, I guess the thing is, it gets such low views, and we know we need to do something different anyway. So we will go from there. Okay, so that's renamed it all perfect. Okay. Can we move the prefetches to their own separate menu item and allow us to have the config for the default things? So like for the analytics, for example, that should be in its own separate prefetch option, and we should be able to specify those. And then rather than having in the tasks, rather than having the drop down, we should just have a list of template tags for the prefetch tasks. And then when we pass in those template tags to a prompt, we should run some code to see what template tags are in the prompt, do the prefetch or prefetches, and then inject the results of those into the prompt. So that should not be AI code. It should just be like, programmatic, scan the text of the prompt, see what's in the prompt. If it's got, channel analytics as template tag, go and fetch channel analytics, and then inject them into the prompt, and then run the prompt. Okay, cool. So yeah, then we should get a like prefetch section here, which should be fine for the moment. We can work on all the UI and UX and stuff if I go beyond having this as a personal project and actually have it as a SaaS product. Like, obviously in my head, it's something that will make a good product, but I guess that the core thing is that I need to make videos and kind of use it to build my own channel or channels. And then it's kind of a proving concept, and then it's kind of more of a easy sell for people that want to start creating content. It's kind of a bit niche, but we'll see. As I say, the goal is not necessarily to make money from this particular one. Plan is to get YouTube going, build an audience as much as we can, and go from there, really. As I say, I've been really terrible in terms of streaming recently. I was traveling around Japan. Hotel Wi-Fi was terrible. And then I kind of moved to Australia for a year, so not been set up. So back on it now regularly, hopefully. Why it's taking so long to think about this one. It should be fairly easy to do. Yeah, it's because it's merged to prefetch incorrectly with tasks. They should always have been their own separate thing. But I think it's worked that out, which is good. Okay, so that's what we're currently working on. It's both of those basically. That one is done, so we can just get rid of that one, I guess. probably need to create a little Kanban tool like everyone else does with Claude. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, and then in terms of like other things we'll have in here, we'll have a short content creator, and we can do some fancy things with that as well. So I was playing around with it the other day. I've got one locally that I was just kind of building just to see how you can do it. And basically we can transcribe the video. So we can then use Claude to work out which sections will be potentially good short content. We then get it to give me the list. I pick a few, or maybe it just does it by default. It then clips the video. And then one thing I was looking at working out how we can do is like how can we have the camera be in the correct location? And there are some certain kind of tools you can do that do the visual analysis of what you see, and like try and keep your head in the correct place. So again, we'll kind of incrementally work with all of that and see how far we can go. But I think that'll be an interesting one to build and add to all of this. And then obviously like adding captions and stuff is fairly straightforward. So we'll see what we can do with that. We should also get that to be human readable rather than having to work out what cron looks like. Yeah, that's the list. Okay, crons, human readable, G every n hours. So maybe we should have the prefetches in this list of tasks rather than a separate menu item. Still works basically the same way, it's just you pass them in and they're like a programmatic step rather than a separate agent call. So it'd just be like it would just be a different type, which should be fairly straightforward. So once it's done it, we'll get to that because that's just a UI change. Shouldn't be too difficult at all, really. Cool. Anything interesting on Hacker News? So it's one of the things, what do you do while your code is being written for you nowadays? Being a software engineer is very, very different. So yeah, again, it'll be interesting to kind of every couple of hours look at the front page of Hacker News as like a research tool, and then based on that, potentially come up with content. So like this one, for example, core code might make a cool or a good short form video, you know, just kind of talking about it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the main thing is you need to get making content and churning it out basically so that we can build the audience and incrementally improve and work out what actually works on YouTube. Because the long-term plan with this is that I can have multiple channels that I kind of work on and own, and we reduce the amount of either outsourced work that we have to do or kind of manual work like editing and stuff. And then we also like narrow down what works and what the strategy is in a really detailed and analytical way so that we can be successful across multiple channels. And then, like I say, make it as repeatable as possible, I guess, and then try and build some interesting channels. And hopefully, you know, make a living off YouTube. So yeah, I think there's a few guys there's one guy that I know of, I think my brother pointed him out. He's got like 6 or 7 channels, And now he just basically sits, reads the script, and that's it. He has the team that does everything for him. I'm not sure whether I ever want to get to that point, but we'll see. Also, you need to get better at presenting and all those kind of things, and being on camera and that kind of stuff. But that will all come with doing it more and just the reps and as I say, trying to be analytical with it and trying to learn and incrementally improve. Okay, so it looks like it's done its thing here. Yeah, perfect. Exactly what I wanted. But actually, we'll move those to the task section, actually. Okay, that's perfect. But thinking about it, can we actually move those to be separate tasks in the tasks section rather than being a separate prefetch thing, and then label them as, I don't know, like programmatically run things or something like prefetch steps or something as the kind of label versus the agent calls, please. Okay, so that is seemingly done. We should get that to be done. That's an easy one. Get scheduler. That's a future one, really. Not too bored about that. One thing I have noticed, like Claude recently, is that it does take a lot longer to work out what it's going to be doing. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, I have noticed that. Hopefully, it's just doing more planning and kind of trying to understand exactly what's going on before it just launches into writing stuff, basically. Yeah, I'm not sure manifesto is the right word there. Let's describe the channel's audience, voice, format, constraints, and what kind of content you make and do. It's not exactly what I wanted for that, but yeah, same sort of thing. See, I think we're using Neon, or going to be using Neon as the database. I can't remember what exactly it. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter, really. As long as it's a Postgres instance, I think we're fine. Okay. Yeah, like two and a bit minutes to, well, 2 minutes plus to work out that all it needs to do is move these to be tasks here in the UI. Seems crazy, right? But then again, if it does it correctly first time, that's better than it used to be. So we'll see how it goes. So what else do I need for this? I mean, I need to work out the prompts. That's one big thing I need to do. And then it's kind of coming up with the channel kind of manifesto as well that I want. That's kind of the MVP. I think I will probably also add in competitor analysis as well fairly early on, so that we can kind of fetch other channels that are in the same niche. We see which videos are performing well and then use those in kind of the potential content making thing, basically. Or maybe we have like a competitor analysis thing that runs every so often, checks those channels to see whether they've added any new videos, how it's performing, all that kind of stuff. That way we can work out, what are like the 1 of 10 videos they've done, why they perform well, all that kind of stuff, and then go from there. And that will probably be in the same niche. And then maybe we can add in, a full kind of 1 of 10 style thing where we fetch tons of channels and try and work out what's actually working and how those kind of things work well. So yeah, it's been a while since I looked at 1 of 10, but I don't know whether it does like hook analysis or thumbnail and title analysis. It probably does, because it's fairly straightforward to do the AI. It just costs money, basically. Whether AI gets it right or not is a separate thing, basically, but we can see. That code looks terrible. So yeah, I've got no front end tests, which is always great. And there's like very basic tests for this stuff, which is not great. So we need to get it to write some tests as well. I just have a couple of tests. There's no integration tests though currently, which is not great. Because yeah, these prompt ones are like list tags in prompt, returns tags in the order they first appear. So what does it do? Prompt. Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Duplicate repeated tabs, yeah. Ignore the manifesto placeholder. Okay, I guess that's just for like history stuff. Compose, prompt, prefetch tag substitution. So it's a single tag with JSON code block. That's not what I wanted it to do at all. Because this is saying like if we've got prefetch, we replace it with the data for that. Unless that prefetch is the result of the prefetches. Does it say what it is? Input. Resolved prefetch results. Okay. So it's just terribly named, basically. So it should be prefetch results. But again, we'll get it to add the prompts that it runs to the actual run itself, so that we can keep track of what is actually being sent to Claude. That way we can see if something goes wrong, why it has gone wrong. Yeah, and then again, like, I guess the first thing we need to do is like get the research agent working. So find interesting topics for videos. Then from that, we come up with the hook. So we need to have like a hook writing prompt. So we need to work out some of that stuff. I also need to work out like the flow of this. So like it will come up with topics, I guess. I'm trying to think about how this works visually. So I guess we can have a topics section, and that will be the result of the research task, the result of like the competitor analysis stuff, come up with a topic, and then in that topic section, we come up with hooks, like the viewpoint of the topic. So it might be that it's, core code, like this one, for example, not necessarily going to make it a long form video, but there's multiple ways you can make content about this, saying like, oh, this is really bad, or hey, look, most people are saying this is really bad, but this is why they've done it, sort of thing. So maybe we can have like a section of, this is the view I want to take on this particular topic. And then we come up with like the titles, thumbnail, hook, and all of that stuff. Okay, so tasks. Getting some errors. Let me just restart it. See if that's the reason. Tasks. So we don't currently have any tasks for prefetch, which isn't wrong. If we check have migrations run, so we should be on 6 migrations. Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing any of the prefetches in the tasks section. Can you double check that? Again, you need to make sure that we've got testing for that. Because that should just be like a simple API call. Tasks, so what's it actually doing? Unless it's not stored them in the database tasks. Okay, hold on. So I think it might be, again, migration stuff. It really should have created a new migration. Yeah, rather than just doing that. I guess because I'm assuming it's added tasks. Is this the data, is it? I don't know where it's adding in source data then. I can't see any inserts here. Let me just run. It does migrations for me, doesn't it? So public tasks. Where does it add those in? Seeding, here we go. Okay, DB seed, right. Okay, yeah, so we've got prefetch ones now. Perfect. So channel analytics, tag. Why is that? I'd never wanted it to make it a different tag. I guess channel, yeah, I guess it can have a cron. It's fine for the moment. Just thinking, because like there's no point in having cron for it. We'll leave it. It's probably something to fix. Like some of them don't need cron, some of them do. We'll think about that. It's not end of the world, to be honest. Okay, so I'm guessing it's added the tag as videos to save. Yeah, I don't want it to have the slug stuff. It's overkill. Can we please get rid of the ability to edit the slug name for the prefetch tasks, please, and the channel analytics, basically? It should just be whatever the default is, so channel analytics, recent videos, etc. There's no need to ever change that. Okay. Right. So that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's stuff like that where it's added an extra kind of functionality in that just didn't make any sense, and there's no like need for it. So slightly annoying. So now it needs to go delete it from the API, delete it from the UI. It'd probably keep it in the database as a slug, but it's just annoying. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, then we're going to get to store the prompts used in every run in the database. We should also get it to store all of these prefetches as well. Recent videos, I'm not sure that's... Yeah, I guess it depends what the YouTube API has. A reference. So yeah, I guess you get like channel, the videos for the channel. Information about a specific video. What does actually return though? Errors. Where's the response? Video resource. So yeah, okay, that's fine. I need to dive into the YouTube API a bit more, but we'll see. For the moment, I guess we don't need to talk all those things. When we start to have competitor channels, we can model it out a bit and make sure that it's doing it correctly, rather than just kind of willy-nilly just adding the data to the database, because we'll need some thought on that one. It should be fairly straightforward to do. Okay. Seems slow to me today, Claude. I don't know why. Okay, so it's just deleted all of the things. It's probably using it via the code, which is fine. So yeah, so if you search for recent key, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then so manifesto is not the right word. I don't know what the correct terminology would be for that one, but I need to think about that. And then we add the voice prompt here as well. Okay, so it's storing it against channel. YouTube ID, name, description. I don't know where it's storing that then. Once it's done that, we will have a look. Okay, so it says it's done that. Cool. Okay, cool, they are there. I was going to say, weird that they weren't there. Okay. Can we make sure that we store the prompt that we actually send to Claude against the run itself, so that we can use that for debugging and seeing what's actually happened, for etc. Should be fairly straightforward to do that. Okay, so I think those ones are done. We're happy with that now. That's next. That's super easy to do. Making the crons human readable. We need to add the voice prompt. I still don't know where it's storing that. I would assume, okay, it's description, right? Description is probably a better word anyway, than manifesto. do that for it. And, yeah, we'll change manifesto to channel description, basically. Change manifesto to... Manifesto sounds a bit like a Unabomber style thing rather than a description of what our channel is actually about. So, you know, it's probably get flagged by the CIA or something because we keep saying manifesto. So we need to update prompts to have correct text. Voice prompt option in channel config. That's the least priority there. Brand tinted prompt. Tables. Has the database fallen over or something? Table plus seems to be weird. Okay, so runs, task ID, started at, finished at, output error prompt, right. Just run that and see what we get. That's the output. Channel context testing. Okay, cool. Works as I want. That's fine. Perfect. Lovely. Right. Command save. Right. Next step. That one is done. Lovely jubbly. That should be fairly easy to do. Because yeah, otherwise we will end up with horrendous code that just constantly breaks and stuff if we don't have any testing. That's fine. Yeah, go for it. Crom's true. Check it's not like malware or something. Seems pretty legit. And that's the actual apps server. It'll be on the UI, won't it, I guess. what it's doing. Should be, oh, come on. So it should be fairly quick to do that one. Okay, yeah, but I think we're getting fairly close to being able to do something basic for what I actually want, which is good. So I say the main thing I need to do is add the prompts in. But essentially I'll create my channel description. I will then add in the prompts for the research agent. That will then kick off and come up with some topics for videos. We then need like I guess a topics section. And then in that topic section, we have like, I guess, ones for consideration, ones we're actually working on. When you select one, you then come up with title, thumbnail, then the hook, then the script, then film it, tag it with various kind of things, get the analytics for it, and kind of go that way. But the main thing I need to do is actually film the content. That's currently the one thing that I'm not doing. Okay, in the UI, can we make it look nicer? So rather than having both the cron and at 9 AM, for example, just have every day at 9 AM. Okay. Sure, but it needs to say every day rather than just at 9, because it's not clear whether that's every day or not, because some of them won't be running every day. Yeah, and we also need to work out whether we actually need crons for the prefetch ones. I don't think we do. I think we probably actually maybe need to look at a different way of doing that, because maybe we will have like channel analytics, for example, running as a daily thing and storing that data, but then also maybe we want to inject channel analytics in as well, or recent videos and stuff. We'll think about it. Probably getting too far ahead of myself. Okay. I mean, is it writing something to change the order? Oh, really? Okay, fine. Fine, perfect. Okay. Okay, in the channel config section, we should have a separate prompt for the voice, and that voice prompt should be kind of an ever-evolving thing that is used when we write a script. So it will have various things like phrases to say, phrases not to say, like the tone, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be the next one, and then we'll work on the manifesto renaming. So yeah, lots of stuff we can do with this. The main thing is that I make content. That's the one thing I'm not currently doing very well out at all. But so I've got my camera, let's get it set up. Then we can get this running and I can film some content. I know it will suck to start off with, but that's just the reality of, you know, doing something new and going all in basically. And ultimately the aim will be to make a video every day. You know, maybe we can do, I don't know when is May? Oh, today's May, okay. Maybe we do a video every day. Stream counts as a video, I guess. The goal to be, you know, 30 videos in 30 days. Ambitious, but we'll see. Stream probably shouldn't count really because it's just, you know, ad hoc sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, when I start making videos, we'll do a challenge of 30 videos in 30 days using this tool and see how far we can go with it, basically. Sounds like a plan to me. So it should be fairly easy for it to add a voice prompt. I'm not sure channel is the right naming for that table, but it's fine. I guess if we did end up making this into an actual product, obviously it all needs to be based on user or channel ID and stuff. Currently they're all just, you know, single user sort of things, but that's fine. Get it working for me, and we'll see if we can get anywhere with it. Thinking of doing a school community as well, you know, to do some stuff around building with AI. Obviously, being a software engineer for like 10 years, I kind of understand how to do it better than a lot of people. Ironically, I'm not doing it myself, but we'll see. Maybe I can do some videos on, you know, how to use Claude Code, things you need to ideally know about coding and kind of architecture and stuff. Might be interesting. Okay, awesome. So that one is done. I assume that's going to be working. Okay, going to get that one to change it to channel description and stuff. While we do that, I'm just going to pop to the toilet. So give me 2 minutes. BRB. Okay, we should be back. Cool, looks like it's done its job as well, which is nice. Should just be called channel description now. Yep. We need to restart something. Perfect. Okay. Cool. That's done now. Okay, so think about what else I need for this, or what I want to start off with. So yeah, thinking about it, the research agent will need to come up with, well, actually, all the agent tasks will need to come up with an output schema for them, actually. I don't think we currently have that, do we? Tasks. Yeah, okay. All the agent tasks need to have a defined output schema that we pass when we run a prompt so that we can use them programmatically. So for example, the research agent should come up with a list of topics. It should have like a topic name, topic description, sources, that kind of stuff. And it needs to be predefined, structured JSON output, basically. JSON schema output. Because yeah, without that, it'll be difficult to actually get it to do. Well, I guess I could just get it to insert topics to the database directly, but that always ends up being a real pain. It's much easier just to have output schema and then do it that way, basically. Okay. So this is output schema tasks. I need to get a new external keyboard. Currently using the laptop one, and it's such a pain. If I'd have thought, actually, I would have brought my one from home, but I didn't think about it. We should actually probably also have the output schema for the task, the prefetch task as well, so it's obvious what we get. Yeah, I think we should also actually, I guess, have a guard so that if prefetch tasks fail, we don't run the prompt and stuff, but all things to prefetch fails, we don't run prompt. So all these things that we end up thinking about that when you are not writing the code, just you kind of forget about. When you actually write the code, obviously you spend a lot more time thinking about this kind of stuff, so it's a lot more obvious, whereas when I'm just asking Claude to do it for me, don't really think about that stuff and you miss it. I hope it's not making the output schema editable, because that should be predefined as well, but we'll see. Yeah, it is making it editable, which is not what I wanted. It's fine. Not a huge issue. Yeah, so what we want is, I guess, competitor. It doesn't necessarily need to be competitor analysis, but channel analysis. So we add a channel, we fetch videos plus stats plus thumbnails plus transcripts. Based on, I guess, titles, plus thumbnails, we create channel description. Based on transcript hooks, we come up with what hooks they use plus effectiveness based on 1 of 10 stats. I guess we need to do like 1 of 10 stats plus regular fetching. Okay, so it should have done that now. Okay, so I'm going to need to go and add in the output schemas as well by the looks of it. Which is not end of the world, it's fine. Let me add a thing about that as well. So that is done. Okay. So while we're doing this, yeah, we'll get that. So in the bottom left-hand corner, it should show what is currently running, the previously run task, etc., rather than just having hard-coded scheduler online, please. It's actually quite a bit of work to do that, but I'll leave it to do that while I'm just writing stuff down basically. So yes, so like competitor analysis, so we need to, like, we have a way to add our competitor channels, fetch their videos, stats, etc. That will just be the generic channel, I want to call it like analytics one, I guess. I'm not sure what the difference between those two will be, but we can fix that. Do the 1 of 10 stats for that, plus have regular fetching. I'm not going to have a huge number of channels, but on the competitor thing to start off with, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We then need to store things, so like channel. Yeah, so thinking about the schema for this, so we need like competitor channel, video. I mean, technically it can just be generic video, I guess. We'll leave it all as competitor stuff for now. So that will have title. I guess it will have thumbnail, transcript. Yeah, I guess it will have stats as well. It's fine. Stick it in there. The 1 of 10 metric is basically just a comparison of the data, so it's not really necessarily needed to be stored, but we'll think about that. So then, based on title analysis, yeah. Option. Yeah, and then that gives me the competitor things. We can then pass that data into a research agent to come up with topics or suggest topics based on what competitors are doing and what's performing well, etc. Yeah, we then want like a hook database, I guess, / hook templates database. And the idea behind this will be that we have hook templates table. So we have like the, I guess called the format or whatever, which will be like, I can't believe that X is not real sort of thing. I guess we'll like a tag for what it is like. We'll then have hook video. Probably fine to be that, which will just have like video ID. Yeah, this is kind of where you probably want to have video as a separate, rather than doing like competitor and normal video, but we'll think about it. So that would be like, okay, this video uses this hook basically. And then we can start to work out the hook performance, not only on my channel, but other channels as well, which will be useful. And then compare it to the kind of stats based on that kind of hook. Yeah. So if you do video and it's got those stats, like ID, etc. Channel ID. Yeah, and then we kind of start to get because yeah, basically what I really want is like the ability to know that hook XYZ performs 10 times better than hook, ABC, and that kind of stuff, just so that we can start to be really analytical and deliberate with the way that we're building stuff or making content, rather than just being, like, oh, I'll make a video about ABC. The reason being that I'm still fairly new to making content. I want to make a real success of it and actually make it so that people could also replicate it as well, using the tool, basically. Scheduler unavailable. Why does it say that? Okay, so let's just see whether that works. It does not work. I'm just going to get rid of it, actually. Actually, can we just get rid of the whole scheduler running thing in the UI entirely, because it doesn't work and it's just pointless. Thanks. I should have just got rid of it from the start, but right, that's fine. Okay, yeah, so the next thing we need to probably have is topic section, research agents, add to this. Okay. Oh, is it not using Git for all of this? It's not. Okay, lovely. Why is it not using Git? I don't know. We'll get it to add it all to Git, and it should just be git revert, and then not burning tokens and destroying the environment. There we go. Okay, can you please initialize a Git repo, commit everything we've got, and then every time I ask you to do a feature, you do it as a new single Git commit, so you can just revert, etc. Okay, so yeah, I think the next thing we need to do is topic section. And then research agents will come up with topics. We then pick a topic, come up with the hook, title, thumbnail, etc. And go from there, basically. Okay, can we please create a topics section in the menu? The idea for this will be that research agents create topics. Topics are then in a consideration state. I then pick the topic that I want. that then goes into like draft. On that draft, we then create the title, the thumbnail, the script, the hook, etc. Film the video. That topic then goes to released, and then we start getting data for that particular topic, and then our data-driven base from that. So all we need for the moment is the topic section, the topic table as well, which probably, when you think about, it needs like a title, a description, and a status. So it should be fairly straightforward to start adding this. And then basically we'll need post agent step as well. That would be, write topics to database sort of thing. But that should be fine. Not too difficult to do. Future research agent integration. Yeah, so it's not actually adding the insert and stuff. That's fine. We just get topic page for now. So yeah, and then I'm thinking like on the topics page, we have the description, the sources, a summary and stuff of what the video or topic is. We then generate titles. We come up with thumbnails because they're the things you need to do first from all the stuff that I've read about YouTube and watched about YouTube. Title, thumbnail, like 95% of the work basically. And once you come up with that, we're happy with that. We get the hook again, which we come up with via our hook database and templates. Then the script, then gets filmed, posted. We then get the stats from that video, and then based on the data, we kind of start to work out exactly what's working and what's not. We'll start hopefully improving and building an audience and channel and stuff. Yeah, the most difficult thing for me is going to be filming the videos, as it's not the easiest. I'm still very new to it, new to being on camera and presenting and all that kind of stuff. So the goal of this channel is really to churn out AI content and stuff and help people to use AI tooling, get the best of it, and all that kind of stuff. We'll see how far we go. Yeah, I need to work out what timing is good for streaming as well now that I'm in Australia. Because one thing I don't want is that when I go back to the UK, I lose all the audience from streaming and stuff because time zone will change. So probably need to stream for UK times, but that ends up being really difficult. So we'll have a think. Okay, let me just have another think about what we actually need for this. So we add a competitor channel. That'll be the manual task. The AI description will be based on the videos and stuff that it comes up with. We fetch the videos, we fetch the transcripts, titles, thumbnails, etc. We create the hook templates. We tag or we link the hook to the video ID. That already gives us some hook performance data, which is good. It can also give us thumbnail and title performance data. So we actually want the same thing for title as well. And this one is just a join table. Yeah. Yeah, it works well. And I guess we need the 1 of 10 score as well. Okay, so we've got topics now, right? Let me just restart that. Seems to get a bit broken at times. Right, okay. Ideas to evaluate, draft, release, gathering data, perfect. Yeah. What was a new topic? Description, status. Let's do test. Okay, I mean, topic needs to be a full page. Okay, each topic needs to be a full page, as in the topic, we will be coming up with the title, the thumbnail, the script, and all of that kind of stuff. That will all be part of the topic itself. So make topic a separate page. So when you click on a card, you go to that page. We need like the topic summary. We're then going to have title generator, thumbnail generator, hook writer as well. So we need to have links to okay, each topic needs to be its own separate page. So when you click on the card, it should open up that specific page for the topic. That's probably the first thing we can get it to do. Because yeah, I'm just trying to think like the tasks we've got here. So like script writer, for example. It's kind of based on the topic rather than just being a generic thing. Like it's not one that runs every day. Same for thumbnail creator. So I guess we can probably drop those ones and move them to the topic section. Yeah. Because that will basically be like we've come up with a topic. We then go ahead and come up with the script and stuff. Like the X post creator will be like, oh, we've got this video, here's a transcript. Come up with some tweets about it, basically. So that will be one that is a scheduled thing of like, oh, well, actually, it can be, hey, go to my channel, find the latest video, get its transcript, come up with tweets, basically. And if there's no video, don't do anything. Same for the blog. This is fetching data. So yeah, thumbnail one, well, the research agent. Yeah, okay. I can think about that a bit more. It's not end of the world to delete some of those tasks and move them elsewhere, basically. Should be easy enough. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So yeah, I think thinking about the tasks, scriptwriter, thumbnail creator will move to the topic. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's done. Testicle. Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. Now on the topic page, we should have the ability to run the script writer and the thumbnail creator, as well as like other agent tasks. In fact, there are some agent tasks, so like script writer and thumbnail creator will never be run outside of a topic. So we should probably remove them from the tasks section and have them just on the topic. What are your thoughts about the best way to do that? I'm just trying to think, because like it is useful to have tasks here, but they're not going to be using a cron. So it kind of end up mixing domains really, which is not terrible, but it's just a bit of a strange thing. So yeah, I think it's probably fine. Drop them from here. Okay, yeah, so I think what we should do is we should drop scriptwriter and thumbnail creator from the task section. They should go on a topic and they are run on demand. Course split, agents now have two purposes: scheduled, yeah, and topic scoped, yeah. I'd model that explicitly, scheduled topic. Existing scriptwriter templates, yeah, fine. Where to edit topic agent prompts. I just think what it means by this. So like course split, two purposes, yeah, scheduled and topic on demand, yeah. More explicitly with scope, scheduled, and topic. Okay, fine. It's not ideal, but yeah, fine. Existing script writer and thumbnail get migrated to topic, right? Where to edit topic agent prompts. They still need a UI for tweaking the prompt and output schema. Keep them in the topics list with a topic badge. So in task list, visually separate. Yeah, okay. Inline expandable list. Yeah, I'll have to keep it on task actually. How does the topic context get into the prompt? Yeah. Where do the runs land? Add a nullable topic ID foreign key on runs. Yeah. Topic can generate scripts, generate thumbnails by querying. Yeah. Okay, yep, that sounds like the right approach. Let's go ahead and do that then, please. We can also probably drop the cron stuff from tasks that have a topic rather than the schedule. So yeah, so in theory, we add a competitor channel, it fetches all the videos. This will be our video as well. We'll go into that data. Hooks will come from a task based on the transcript. Same for thumbnail and title templates. Because basically one thing about that is you get like a bank of hooks, a bank of title formats, a bank of thumbnails on videos performed really well. So that we can have like channel average for thumbnails and title. And then if one pops off, then it goes into our bank and we can use kind of it as inspiration or kind of trying to work out why it is better than the other ones, etc. Basically ending up building like a automated strategist as well, I guess would be the idea behind that. Which is kind of what we already are doing, I guess, with the research agent is, I guess, kind of like an ideation agent for videos. Yeah. No, thank you. So yeah, this was the thing I built on streams a while ago actually, and each competitor has lost money quite considerably, really. I don't think any of them actually won any bets from what I remember. Kind of amazing, really. Oh, yeah, GPT was all right, actually. So yeah, probably get that one going again. Maybe for other sports or stock market, if we can do that. I can't even remember what is on Polymarket. Like, try and work out some interesting ways to do that, really. I wonder what the Iran stuff is at the moment. I don't quite understand what that status is, but yeah, I guess it's kind of because it's blended that blend with the scheduled one, so status should become optional, really. Does it even have status as a thing? I guess that's based on this. That's not what I was thinking it was going to do. Oh, I hope it's not fetching a list of topics from here. Oh, why has it added stuff that you just never ask for? So what I'm guessing it's done is it's added that as a, yeah. Okay, let's give it a chance to reboot and see what's going on. Right. Hidden from topics, save topics. Okay, that's probably fine. Okay, so it's updated the seeds by the looks of it to yeah, so it passes in topic title, topic description. Yeah, it just doesn't quite feel right to me that it just runs like that. I don't know, I kind of feel like I need to be passing in more data or something, but for the moment, I think that's okay. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it like that for the moment. I think that's probably fine. So we have a topics section. Research agent does not currently. Agents to add topics. Okay, so I need to think about it a bit more. Okay, so I don't get why they've got bloody available and hidden personally. But, okay. So thing we need to do is probably get the research agent to add topics. I think that's probably the first thing. That way we start to get some topics that we can play around with, I think. but I think probably do that in the next stream, I think. So yeah, I think I might go get some lunch and then probably come back at some point. So yeah, I'm going to call it there, guys.